Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Grandmaster Shaymin, and today we have another episode of Fatal 12. In the last episode, Rinka found out what her regret was, and had finally mustered the courage to do something about Naomi and about her future. It was actually a really cool scene, one that I can't particularly relate to yet, but a really cool scene nonetheless. Definitely go back and watch that if you haven't already. As well, you could always buy the game and check out all the alternative endings, because I'm going for my Miharu ending, which I assume is here. I thought for sure there'd be a Naomi ending, but even if she comes back, I don't know if there's a Naomi ending, but we'll see. Either way, make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me, because you already know your support's greatly appreciated. Subscribe and comment as well if you could. Anyway, moving in. Electing you is a must. His elimination should undo Naomi's death. His entire attack on the school should be undone at that. As much as I don't want to remember the scene, his decision to kill with his own hands may have been for the sake of leaving the possibility open to me. Had the explosion or fire been the cause of her death, things may have been tweaked so that she ended up dying in an accident or something similar. He made thorough preparations for me to kill him. The only issue is that I only have his name and cause of death, since his regret card disappeared. But I thought his regret was not being able to go out like a hero. Didn't he say that? He wanted a hero's death rather than a suicide bomber. I can't just eliminate him and leave it at that either. What secrets are hidden within the memories he regained? Why is he so desperate for me to elect him? Only after I learn more about him do I plan to eliminate him. Not so I can sympathize with him like I have until now. He's the person responsible for taking Naomi's life. That fact won't change, no matter what. Just then, the buzzer goes off again. We don't get customers around this time, so Mal must have left something here. Little do I know what's in store for me when I push the button for the speaker. Yo, doing good business here, are we? It's Odette. If only it would have been Mao. Instead, it's number 11. Oh, shit. More frightened by the prospect of what will happen if I ignore her, I decide to let her in. I wouldn't be surprised if she busted the door down if I hadn't. Not a bad look. Oh, whoa. She's taken off her coat. Interesting. I know, that's the first thing I noticed. Hey, your shoulders are exposed. Yeah, that's interesting. You gotta, for those of you who have this kind of fetish, she is wearing a collar. I don't know what the little circle is for. I don't know if you, like, pull that if she says, like, some sort of line. You know, maybe she's like Woody. There's a snake in my boot. Not a bad little cafe you've got here. She seems far more bulky up close than when I saw her in Shigetsugu's house. The extent to which she stands out in a cafe like this doesn't help. Judging by how she hasn't assaulted me yet, I can only assume that she's got other business here. It'd only take a matter of seconds for her to render me helpless at this distance. And it's the one silver lining here. Sorry, kid. Is this your bedtime? No. Been near 2 weeks since we last saw each other in the real world. How you been? Why are you here? Oh, come on. Why's everyone got to be so vigilant around me? At least that Miharu girl was a bit more friendly. Miharu? Did you do something to her? Her having taken Miharu hostage is the first thing that pops into my mind. That can't be it, though. We fooled everyone into thinking we had a falling out with our little exchange in the Court of Fate. I guess you two are still buddies after all. Doesn't seem like you know what she's been up to, judging by your reaction, though. Can't blame you. Most people would be crushed if their underclassman friend died. You don't look like a broken person, though. I assume you've gotten over it. Alan said she's the type of person to reach conclusions through situational evidence. He was dead on. She was able to snatch the answers from me just by talking and then judging my reactions. It doesn't help that I'm feeling pressured by her. Sitting up straight in situations like this makes one seem more confident. That's what my gran always used to say. I'll ask one more time. Did you do something to Miharu? That's the spirit. I ain't interested in talking to people who's shaken in their boots. Let me ask you then, Do you think that girl is weak enough to let such a thing happen? Not at all. She's far stronger and resolute than I could ever be. Good answer, kid. I'm Odette Malencon. Here's hoping that admission's enough to erase the tension. That said, my card book begins to glow. Eventually, the light takes the form of her name card. Why would you... I'm only here to talk things out with you. Giving you my name doesn't put me at any disadvantage. Besides, I can tell you that you don't have any cards of my cards yet based on how frightened you were before. Well, there's two possibilities. Either you're scared because you know that Odette has one of your cards and you don't have any of hers, or the second reason is because your regret is absolute, makes you look like a pansy. That's all I can think of. Because you died in the exploding boat or whatever it was. Though I guess I don't know your specific cause of death. I know that the boat exploded and you died as a result of it, but... That being the case, giving you my name seems a very good way to establish some trust, yes? I don't plan on telling you mine. No need to worry about Shishimiya Rinka, though you probably figured I knew it by now, considering I found this place. It's just as she says. In fact, it'd be odd for someone to find out my name, not to find out my name along with the Lion House. Well, it's clear that you're not here to raid this place like you did Shingetsugu's home. Hey, that's what I've been trying to say all along. Let me put it like this. I'm here to help you. Help me? I'm sorry, but jokes don't suit you. No need to be so reserved. I want to eliminate you, but right now, you don't have the means. Let me explain this from the top. Mind getting some coffee? Odette takes a seat at one of the tables without giving me so much as a glance. I don't think I've got any other options, so I make some for both of us. I'm a little worried about what she... Oh my god, she looks so fucking creepy. The music does not help. Oh man, tastes pretty damn good. You're working pretty hard despite your age, eh? That's just what I like to see. She stands and stretches after tasting her coffee. She strikes me as the type who would ferociously devour meat and chug down any sort of alcohol, but to my surprise, she's able to discern the type of beans and roasting method I use. After that, we discuss things while drinking our coffee. The first thing she tells me is regarding you. He's part of a terrorist organization in Japan, and was originally meant to carry out an attack on the Yamamote line. That just so happened to be an attack Naomi and myself got caught up in, which you cannot let her know! They don't seem to be aware of my cause of death, though. Next up is Miharu. Not only has she met with Odette, but she's even formed an alliance with her, Federico and Number 9, whose name seems to be Scale. Their ultimate objective is to eliminate Alan. I'm not sure if he's inherently a bad person after having spoken to him personally, but his status as a major player in Divine Selection cannot be denied. But what surprises me most is learning that Miharu has convinced them to target you first. Her goal is the same as mine then. She wants to save Naomi. It's not hard to tie what happened at Emeka to Divine Selection, all things considered. Not only is you the culprit, but it's a school myself and Miharu attend. I'm the only one who knows what Yu's doing, that Yu's doing this to make me elect him, but they interpreted it as his attempt to provoke the other participants. So Miharu's cooperating with you? The whole reason Scale approached Miharu was because of your supposed falling out. While it wasn't enough to fool me, it was a solid plan. Both him and that dumbass Federico ate it up. None of that explains why she's here, though. It also doesn't explain why she... Okay. In fact, it makes even less sense now that I know they're cooperating. It ain't just Alan that they'll be targeting once Yu's gone. All three of them are gonna come right after me. She knows. Miharu wouldn't do... I was gonna say she wouldn't deceive someone like that, but I couldn't finish the sentence. Miharu's strength of will is rock solid. She wouldn't betray someone solely for her own gain, though, which means she's either for Naomi's sake or mine. That much is easy to figure out. Chances are she's already aware that I've figured them out. Like I said, though, they'll probably go after me once they've both eliminated you, and gotten close enough to gathering all of Alan's cards. No way that lot would underestimate what I'm capable of, after all. The sheer confidence she has in herself isn't something I'd ever dispute. It's not my place to make this comparison, but she's probably the only person who can compare to Alan and all of the participants, out of all the participants, assuming we judge purely on strength of character. None of what she's said thus far explains why she came to see me, though. Squaring off with them after we eliminate you is just a bit too predictable, though. I want to get a little more thrill out of it. How does your excitement fit into all of this? Think about it. Life's all about thrill and excitement, ain't it? You'd be better off dead if it weren't. I don't quite get where you're coming from. I ain't worried about whether or not you regret it. Anyway, if things are gonna go down, then you can be damn sure I'll be the one double-crossing them. The bold smile accompanies her proclamation. Would you mind explaining what you meant about helping me? Just like it sounds, you want to eliminate you so that your underclassman's death gets undone. But you don't get the means to do so. Don't know why you'd get this bothered over one insignificant life, but how dare you? Naomi's life isn't insignificant to me. I messed up by saying that. I don't regret it, though. I won't let anyone get away with saying that about Naomi. I don't even bother to say anything else after that. I just glare at her. That a girl. I was ready to shove off if you let me get away with that. Keep up that attitude while you're at it. I ain't one for polite chit-chat. Are you testing me? Yeah, got a problem with it? I said I was here to help you, but I ain't the one to offer my services for free. That's why I tested you, to see if it's even worth presenting you with the choice. That kid and the remnants of Null's Japan branch are planning another attack tomorrow. They want to have things end with a bang, which is why they're targeting Tokyo Tower. No way! They've already put their plan in motion. I've heard talks of suspicious trades among gas and ammonium nitrate, which just so happen to be what's needed to make bombs. Ammonium nitrate's generally used for fertilizers, but only pros are allowed to handle it. Even if they plan things out well, they can't cover their tracks completely. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it seems like a thermite reaction is caused by iron oxide and aluminum powder packed inside the bombs. Not only will the blast be powerful, it'll also spread fire everywhere. Okay, wait. This chick keeps telling me about how bad she is at school, and she just whips that one out? Dude, I don't think it's that common knowledge about this. Like, sure, most people probably know it. I'd say probably. I mean, iron oxide and aluminum powder packed into the bombs, it's pretty, pretty easy to figure out if you know, chemistry and stuff. But I mean, come on, guys. We live in a world where that kind of stuff isn't exactly common knowledge. So I find it kind of surprising that she's just like, yeah, I have terrible grades. You know how a bomb works? I know exactly how a bomb works. Fire bombs, basically. Probably the type that you used when he blew up the train as well as a mecha. Chances are they're going to go wild considering the circumstances. Who knows how many people will die if Tokyo Tower blows up on a weekend. Even worse, you won't die since he's a participant. Perpetrators usually die alongside everyone else, but he'll live on and keep pulling crap like that. We can't let that happen. We have to stop them. You're a kind sort, huh? Thing is, I don't really give a damn about how many people die. The sheer disgust I feel over that admission causes me to glare at her again. She raises a finger and thrusts it in front of my mouth before I can say anything, though. But on the other hand, stopping some pansy terrorists ain't no thing for me. The fact that she can make a statement like that sound believable is part of what makes her so impressive. Aren't we better off letting the police deal with this? Only people like us are aware of the whole thing. Ain't no outlaw who wants to get themselves involved with the police. What's more, they'd benefit from it in the end. All those features and news articles are going to turn into hard cash. Most importantly, there's a kid involved who can go about blowing himself up while randomly coincidence somehow keep him alive. The police would get a pretty bad reputation from that. She's probably right. There's no way anyone would swallow the idea that he can't die because he's a participant in divine selection. They're just as likely to have more than just bombs at their disposal. Who knows how many casualties would result. Considering I've got Scale, Federico, and kinda sorta Miharu gunning for me, I'd rather get this done and dusted quick. You don't need me to explain the rest, do you? Go ahead. I'll stop the terrorist and give you the opportunity to make contact with you. The old fart let you into his home. I know you spoke to you after his elimination. You should be the one to get him to spill his regret. Eliminate him and save both your underclassmen and the masses. Don't forget that we're making a deal. I want your cards in exchange. Both your cause of death and regret. I want them the moment you get use info too. In other words, both you and him get eliminated during the same election. I guarantee it won't affect your dead friend either. She'll be safe even after your elimination. Fate will run its original course with both myself and you eliminated. It makes sense. My elimination would result in Naomi witnessing my death. That's how things went originally. Odette probably doesn't know that much, but her words hit me hard. So what'll it be? Get with me and guarantee that you'll save your friends, or try to pull through on your own. Turn her the fuck down. Okay. She's kind of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Not worth. Turn her down. Like hell I'd accept that. Oh boy. You've been talking down to me this entire time. I know you're hiding something. You can't eliminate you on your own. You know Miharu and the others won't be able to learn his regret either. You said you were here to help me, but that's a lie. We're both on equal footing. I'd be helping you as well. So you ain't concerned about your dead pal. Are you deaf? I said as well for a reason. Eliminating you, bringing back my friend, and preventing innocent people from getting caught up in a terrorist attack. You're the one who's going to help me accomplish that. There's a certain ferocity behind each of my words. I mean everything I said to her. Mainly because I know, rather she's given me the hints. Her actions are determined by the thrill they bring her. She believes that you're better off dead if you can't enjoy life. I'll let her have her fun. Accepting her conditions would deprive her of that. Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. Sure am paying a hefty price for that coffee. But whatever, let's do this. Her actions aren't determined by logic. That's what matters here. Okay. Shit's about to go down. I have made my decision, but I can't quite... I haven't quite been able to calm myself down. Odette wants to take me along to her base of operations so we can start to make preparations. She said it'll take about 2 hours by car to get there. She apparently got one ready for us. Goes without saying that it can't be traced back to her either. I'm exhausted. Oh, whoa, you changed outfits. Hard not to be after everything that's happened today. In an ideal world, I get to dive into bed, but I don't have that luxury right now. We'll both be up all night once we get to wherever she's taking me. We have plenty of planning to do. Honestly, it's amazing how far from reality this all feels. My mind flashes back to my exchange with Odette as I pack and change for my clothes with my phone charger. I started to settle in. I'm working with her now. In all honesty, it's reassuring. I don't think highly of her after hearing about how she took Sonia's parents hostage, but she doesn't seem all that bad now that I've spoken to her in person. That said, there are aspects of her that I don't understand. Why would she reveal her name to me without demanding anything in return? Surely puts her at a disadvantage. There's probably no point in talking about it. She's the sort of person who will blow your expectations out of the water if you try and think too hard. In that case, I'm better off going with the flow. As usual, putting a lid on my thoughts is the best option. One small and important thing is different this time around, though. No matter what, Are you done yet? Odette shouts at me from downstairs. She must be tired of waiting. Telling her I'll be right down. I make my way towards the stairs. So, real quick though, it's going to be kind of interesting because we're going to experience Yu's death, which I have to wonder if we're going to just experience the part after he finished strangling Rinka, or if, like, that would be bad, though. Think about it this way. If Rinka doesn't eliminate her, and it does show the part where he strangled Rinka to death, all of a sudden that person knows Rinka's cause of death. So I highly doubt that would happen. So she probably is going to just die from the fire itself. That's kind of a rough way to go out, though, burning to death. Let's get moving, then. A blue car is parked outside. It's got a nice coat of polish. Definitely not the kind of car you see around the city. Yep, a bona fide luxury car. The driver's seat is even on the right-hand side, so it must be foreign. Yeah, those people on the right side of the... Wait a second. Does that say passenger seat? Oh, shit. I can't go back and figure it out, can I? Oh, well. There's no way we won't stand out in a car like this. So, who's driving? Relax. Cars ain't no thing you're supposed... Cars ain't no thing when you're used to steering boats. Which side of the road do you drive on in here? The right? The left! I know she's joking, but I still shout my response. It's hard not to when you know you're about to be her passenger. Little do I know that her driving would turn out to be even more atrocious than expected, leading a grueling 2-hour journey. Yo, it's like my friend Kendon driving. And me. You better toughen up, kid. I never thought someone else's driving could make me feel so exhausted. I'm mentally spent as it is, but now my body's drained as well. It doesn't help that I'm normally getting ready for bed around now. Thanks to all that, I don't have it in me to answer her. Anyway, this place has been abandoned ever since some delivery company that was using it went belly up. We arrive in this empty warehouse on the outskirts of town near the shore. The road signs we passed said that we were going to Yokohama, so I estimate we're somewhere around there. As Odette said, this place really does look abandoned. Rusted metal and broken windows are its defining features. I'm not sure if desolate is the right word to use here or not. It ain't nothing left from when it was in use, so yeah, who knows? Maybe all the pent grudges from the former workers turned into something sinister. Don't say stuff like that. You know I'm joking, right? Ain't no such thing as ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts either, but the atmosphere here creeps me out. Who's there? Huh? Ellipses exclamation mark question mark. A sudden voice calls out from the darkness and causes me to tense up. Not due to my imagination running wild, but because the voice is familiar to me. What? Odette and Alan are teaming up? Wait. What? Nani? No way. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. You're kidding me, right? These two were at each other's throats here a few episodes ago, and now they're working together? Alan and Odette didn't seem like the people to actually be able to. It's Alan Scorpion. His figure becomes clear as my eyes adjust to the darkness. Did he just happen to be using the same place as Odette? Odds of that are awfully low. Yo, I brought her here with me. You sure took your time. It doesn't take long before my doubts are all cleared up. Are you two allies? Not at all. It's a temporary alliance, just like you and me. Well, more like you, me, and him, I guess. Are you fine with that? Alan's even more expressionless than usual, whereas Odette has a really big grin on her face. These are the two people I fear most in Divine Selection. This is such like an odd scene right here, where she's standing next to the two buffest, smartest dudes, and, well, dudes is in a gender-neutral dudes, but, you know. I never would have expected them to team up, let alone that I would end up as a part of that team. Nervousness doesn't begin to describe how I feel. I'm on the verge of throwing up. But there's an odd sense of relief mixed in me as well. Describing it as sort of animalistic instinct may be appropriate. There are no better people to team up with than these two. That much is fact. I'm fine with it, but I'd appreciate an explanation first. It's nothing complicated. We're pretty keen on what others are gunning for us as well. I'm aware of Number 9's plan to eliminate me. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, may be the easiest way to describe the situation. We could go straight for dumbass Federico, but that'd be a bit boring. Instead, let's get rid of Number 4. Ain't nothing more interesting than taking their prey out from under them. I figured it would be something like that. There's no way these two would work together otherwise. Miharu's likely included in the people Odette's referring to. That does bother me. It's safe to assume Odette won't go near her before you is eliminated. I still haven't thought about what to do once I accomplish that. Ideally, I'll have the opportunity to talk things out with Miharu as soon as possible. I need to be careful about that, though. The others are only cooperating with her because they're under the impression that we're no longer friends. I turn to face Alan. Does he know the conditions of Odette presented me with? Why me, of all people? I'm aware of your ties to Number 4. If anyone can figure out his regret, it's you. I swear that he told it to us already. Wasn't it that he said, I really wish that I could have gone out like a hero? Something like that, right? Our interests align in that regard. As usual, I can't figure out his true motives. Before, I mentioned wanting to see how far my mindset could take me. Is he using this opportunity to judge that? Cut the crap and get to it. You bring the goods? Indeed. Oh, we got some drugs up in here. Let's go. Wait, hold on. That said, he carries a number of sturdy cases over to us. Oh, man. You see, the last time someone brought over some sturdy cases and said that it was the goods. I mean, Seto Kaiba bringing out his entire thing of a bunch of cards. So this is what we're dealing with. The goods are a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Beautiful. Odette proceeds to open them up with a wide grin on her face. Inside are handguns. Oh, man. I'm a little disappointed about it now. I was hoping for sure it'd be Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon. I assume the differing shapes mean they're all different makes. There are 3 in total. An M500 revolver, a Beretta, and a Tokarev. You got some good pieces here. Wait, this Tokarev's a knockoff, isn't it? Don't complain. Getting 3 guns into this country was hard enough. Are these real? You want to give one a spin? We're in an extraterritorial area right now, so you ain't got nothing to worry about. No, that's not what I meant. They honestly don't look much different than the replicas I've seen before. That makes it hard for me to process that I'm looking at real firearms, weapons used to take other people's lives. At the same time, part of me avoids touching them on instinct. Hey, do you have a permit? My goodness. Luckily, I mean, I don't know about Alan. See, Alan threatened to kill a child, so he's one of those people, like, are you sure he's not American? He's got guns, he likes to kill children. Dude, he's gonna be a school shooter. One of the fucking dozens that happen every single year in this country. Anyway, we're going up against a terrorist organization, kid. Ain't no one gonna do that without weapons. They're for self-defense. We don't have enough ammunition to engage them in a firefight. What do you know about self-defense, Alan? I figured you weren't some run-of-the-mill dude, but now I'm curious about your background, Mr. CEO. Humph. Oh well, not like they're properly equipped either. Wouldn't be fixing up homemade bombs if they were. I'll take the revolver. Always wanted to try out one of these babies. Besides, it's not like she'll be able to handle it. Hold on, what are you implying there? There being 3 guns is already suspicious enough. Odette just claimed one for herself, though, which means the Beretta 92 is the most balanced out of these. So I'll surmise you will be sufficiently skilled with it. I'll teach you how to use it. Wait a minute. I'll turn into a criminal if I use one of these. Odette stares at me in astonishment as I panic. Getting a gun doesn't make you happy? Hell no! No one's forcing you to use it. You're better off keeping one on you, though. You will be in a much better position against unarmed people with it. But give me a break, kid. We ain't talking things out peacefully tomorrow. It's gonna get real nasty real quick. Her sharp glare shoots straight through me. It's the same look she gave in the Court of Fate, the look of a predator ready to strike its prey. All it does is remind me of you, of the classroom draped in fire, of the deafening explosions. She's right. We're beyond the point of no return. I've already gone through all sorts of experiences that no regular person ever will. Like you said, no one's gonna make you use it. I'll even empty the magazine for you if you want. No, that's fine. Teach me how to use it properly in exchange, though. I don't want it to fire by accident. That's better. We'll start by picking it up. Guns may be allowed where they're from, but this is Japan. The very concept of them is foreign for most people. Yeah, they don't even, There's the self-defense force, but that's about it, right? I take a hold of the jet black pistol in order to make good on my resolution. Now I've officially broken the law. It's a lot heavier than expected, just over 2 pounds I'd estimate. You see people use these with one hand in movies and stuff all the time, but it's hard to hold it steady like that. Using both hands helps somewhat, but at the same time it feels far too light when I consider that they can take someone's life. Bear in mind that the recoil upon firing, based on your weight and strength, I doubt you'll be able to aim properly. I suppose that's not the issue, though. You should be able to bluff your way through it, as long as you know the proper stance and posture when brandishing it. We'll teach you that later, but for now, Odette, we need to hear from you. About how to stop you and the tourists, Yes, the tourists! Stop the tourists! The terrorists, I assume. Indeed. Before that, though, there's no need for formal language with me, Rinka. We're equals here. Right. It's a bit of an odd thing to be particular about, but whatever. I have no reason to say no. All of this is based on info from Scale, but it should be reliable. Ain't got no reason to lie to us about stuff particular to you. First up is their objective. I heard that terrorism is mainly used to establish political agendas. Null's Japan branch was formed by people influenced by a foreign organization, though, so I don't know anything about their motives. They want to fight the general indifference plaguing this country. I'm not sure I get it. Alan is one to give me an answer. They probably think this country cares little about what goes on in the rest of the world. I find myself in agreement with the sentiment from time to time. War, poverty, illness, the world is overrun by all of these. Japan, by contrast, is both safe and prosperous. Its people are largely unaware of the struggles faced by others elsewhere. Sure it ain't just envy making them run wild? Not like anything'll change that by blowing themselves up. Terrorists exist precisely because they don't agree with your claim. I hardly sympathize with them myself. Well, the important part is that they've deluded themselves into thinking people will pay attention if they blow stuff up. Fighting against the population's indifference, huh? I doubt I would have paid attention to what was going on in the world without divine selection, mainly because my own death was tied directly to the suffering people from other parts of the world. They're hurting others for their own selfish beliefs. Yeah, that's why we're gonna be a bit selfish and interfere. Fair's fair. Scale keeps going on about justice and crap, but I ain't got nothing to do with us. Are we being selfish, though? We're preventing innocent people from getting hurt, so... Sorry, but I told you before that I don't give a damn about how many people kick the bucket. The same way you'd be more upset over your friend dying than a bunch of people halfway across the world got blown up. Humans ain't built to care about everyone. Our world only exists as far as as people know. That's why it's fine to not give a damn. Their desire is not realistically attainable. Jesus. It's sad but true. There's so many people dying out there in the world right now as we speak, and I mean, it sucks. It really does. But people gotta die at some point. there's that other thing that I keep thinking of is with how massive the population is right now. I mean, people dying is probably not only necessary, but a benefit to the planet itself. But it does suck when the person is close to you or whatever. Or even is yourself. I mean, in most cases. I wonder if you joined them for the same reason. He likely agreed with them to an extent, although I cannot say for sure how much. Yeah, you're the one who's going to get all that out of him, Rinka. Once done with that topic, Odette continues her explanation of their plan. They're likely to carry it out using the same types of explosives as those used in Emeka. How many will there be? He didn't know, but chances are it'll be at one location. They'll plan on probably involved targeting a few places at once. No way. Odette said something similar, said earlier that they would want to go out with a bang. There's no doubt it would be devastating if their plan goes off without a hitch. Tokyo Tower is located in the Minato Ward, which is the home to other important places like the Imperial Palace and the National Diet Building. They'll be the center of Japan's attention if they target a place like that. Plenty of tourists have been visiting there ever since the Sky Tree got built. The entire world would have no choice but to take notice once the tourists becomes victims, at which point they'll be able to spread their message. They might have factored all that into their plan. We're best off focusing on Tokyo Tower and leaving the rest to the police. Huh? But didn't you tell me we shouldn't get them involved? I only meant in respect to you. If the journos know this much already, then the police should have a rough idea of what they're planning. Security is tight around that area. They won't just sit back and let terrorists have their way, so we should leave it to them to deal with the non-participants. Ironic as it is, our previous deaths will keep us safe no matter what we do. Don't you think they'll try to use the other attacks as a diversion? No doubt about it. We're the only ones who know about you, and he'll probably get past security by using a disguise. Let's assume the police have gotten wind of their plan. I'm pretty sure they would have security carry out bag searches around places like Tokyo Tower. Letting you get close is all he needs. Once there, he can neutralize the security detail and get far enough to blow himself up. His explanation helps me realize what they're implying. Security teams probably aren't trained in hand-to-hand combat. They won't stand a chance against you. Based on what Sungetsugu told me, even a group of adults wouldn't be able to stop him. He isn't considering the consequences of his actions either. All he's concerned about is setting things off and then disappearing. You's the only one we're concerned with. Well, him and anyone else with him. What's the most well-known part of Tokyo Tower? I've never been. The observatories are probably the most famous spots. There are always lots of people at them. I'm pretty sure it had 2 observatories. The standard observatory at 500 feet and the special one at 800. Since there's an extra fee to access the special one, you'll find most of the people at the regular one. The staff conducts bag checks just before you make your way up there, too. Those make for some rather symbolic spots. People are attached to the view of the world they can see in their daily lives. These spots serve as something to a window to a different reality, despite the fact that they're in the same world. Quite the poet, ain't ya? Maybe you're a good terrorist after all. As if. Alan brushes off her quip without effort. People are aiming to bomb one of Tokyo Tower's observatories. I know this is happening for a fact, but it somehow doesn't feel real. Perhaps there's no surprise when even handling a gun fails to give me a reality check. One thing I can say for sure, though, is that we can't let this happen. Countless of innocent people are going to die if we do. Whether children or adults, Japanese or foreign, they'll all die an unfair death. I could sympathize with the organization if they simply strove to make people take notice of what's going on in the world. There's no justice in spreading your message at the expense of other people's lives, though. Absolutely none. I wouldn't even describe their actions as cruel. What you've done is, so far, not to mention what he's planning on doing, all of it is pure unbridled brutality. I can't really help but grit my teeth in disgust. Naomi lost her life to such brutality. Does that mean I'm trying to mete out justice? Okay. Or am I merely bound by some sense of duty? Neither. I'll bring Naomi back and prevent him from hurting anyone. I'm fueled by sheer determination and nothing else. I look forward to where this leads you. Following that, we began to discuss our plan for tomorrow. Technically, all I can contribute is a few nods to show I'm listening, but the more concrete their plan gets, the more nervous I become. How Miharu and Scale act in the face of all of this has got me curious. Odette said they probably figured out that she's double-crossed them, but that they won't think much of it. Miharu's personal motivations aside, their main goal is to eliminate Alan and Odette. Even if they don't manage to elect you themselves, they won't run the risk of having any of their cards exposed. Odette and Alan probably feel the same, considering they're allowing me the right to elect you. I know you the most out of everyone, so I can agree with that choice. The rest is up to me. My only choice is to get his regret out of him. Although anxious, part of me feels good about this being something only I can do. I want to die by your hands. His words are akin to a curse to me. However, they also serve as evidence that I can still learn his regret. Alright, that's about it for this episode, so make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me because you already know your support is greatly appreciated. And stay tuned for the next episode. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so that way you can get all the next episodes when they come out. And hit that like button down below for me and comment and let me know your thoughts on the series. So we'll see you all next time.